Hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It is so great to be with you tonight. It's a Wednesday evening, and it is, yes, August 28th, 2024. We've just got another day, or actually 2 days left after tomorrow, till we'll be Sunday into the beautiful September, and hopefully summer has decided to let's say, wrap up a little bit, but I know it's been a little bit challenging for everyone. So, welcome to Inspiration for Your Life. I'm glad you decided to join me. Do check out my hat, believemeachieve.com, for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. All right, guys, let's get right into the show. Before we do that, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here, whether it's 5:06 p.m., 5:06 a.m., 3 a.m., 3 p.m., noon, midnight, doesn't really matter. Thank you so much for being here with me. Really do appreciate that. So our master topic for the entire week, ladies and gentlemen, is Unlocking the Power of Your Surroundings, Series 3, Show 35. And you might be saying, John, that's a little crazy, but we're talking about a lot of cool stuff here this week. All right, so the granular topic is Unlock the Secrets of Continuous Flash Suppression. Again, Series 3, Show 35, Episode number 5. So what the heck is CFS, or Continuous Flash Suppression? Well, let's see if I can give it to you. What is a short, let's say, definition for CFS, or continuous? It's actually continuous flash suppression. We're going to get deep into it, but just to give you an idea of what it is. It's a visual technique used in neuroscience to render images invisible to a person's consciousness awareness by flashing random patterns in front of one's eye, while the other eye is presented with a static image. Now, this allows researchers to study how the brain processes visual information without conscious perception. Wow, guys, that's really, really cool. I mean, like, abundantly cool. All right, so when we think about this thing, CFS, have you ever heard of that before? Pretty cool, right? And I think sometimes people don't quite understand like what these things mean. So that's what we're going to do today. So first of all, we know a little about what CFS is now. So what is the purpose of CFS? Well, that's a really good question, because we have all these things, but then what's like the purpose of it? The purpose of CFS is mental focus. Yes. What is the purpose of CFS? And that would be mental focus, but to investigate how the brain processes visual information without conscious awareness by rendering images invisible to the conscious perception. CFS allows researchers to explore the underlying mechanisms of visual processing, attention, and awareness, helping to better understand how the brain perceives and interprets sensory information. So that's what it is. What is the purpose of it? So what is the CFS method? Okay, so the CFS method is pretty straightforward. So the method it involves presenting rapidly changing visual patterns, flashes to one eye, while showing static images to the other eye. The rapid flashes overwhelm the visual processing of the eye receiving them, and effectively suppressing the static image from conscious awareness. This method allows researchers, again, to study how brain processes information that isn't consciously perceived. Okay, so how do you do this test? Well, it's not hard. To perform the continuous flash suppression test, you have to have a few things. First of all, you need to prepare the equipment, set up the visual stimuli, display the images, adjust the parameters, and, of course, conduct the test. But, of course, we're going to get a lot deeper and then analyze the data. So first thing is prepare the equipment. Stereoscope or VR headset can be used to present different images to each eye separately. And computers with software, you'll need software to generate and display the rapidly changing visual patterns, flashes, and static images. Stimuli. Create or obtain visual stimuli, including the random flash patterns and the static images you want to suppress. Set up a visual stimuli. Flashing patterns. These are typically random noise patterns or rapidly changing colored squares displayed to one eye. Static image. The image you want to render invisible is presented to the other eye. So you display the images, one eye, show the rapidly changing flash patterns to one eye, and it's usually the dominant eye, and the other eye simultaneously present the static image to the other eye. That's it. Pretty easy, right? Adjust the parameters. Flash frequency, adjust the speed of the flashing patterns, usually around 10 hertz, and contrast and brightness ensures the flashing patterns are vivid enough to suppress the static image, yes, effectively. Conduct the test. Have the participant focus. Ask the participant to focus on the center of the screen or on a fixation point. Observe the participant as they should report when or if they become aware of the static image. Record your responses. Note the time it takes for the static image to break through the suppression and become visible, if it does at all. Analyze the time it takes for the image to become visible or whether it remains suppressed throughout the test. Now, this data can provide insights into unconscious visual processing, and this test is commonly used in cognitive and visual neuroscience research to study the mechanisms of the visual perception and the unconscious processing. Wow, John, that's a lot of information, and this is all part of the the thing we were talking about originally, which is unlocking the power of your surroundings. And I think some people don't understand that our body does a lot of great things. Okay, I mean, it does a lot of great things. And when I say a lot of great things, I really mean a lot of great things. I will tell you that you might be saying that, hey, this is kind of cool. But then on the other breath, you're like, how is that even possible? Like, how does somebody even do that? And I think that becomes a challenge for some people. But when we turn off one part of our body to kind of examine the other, it's like we get this epiphany, right? There are so many things that our mind and body do without us being consciously aware of them. So it's important to be grateful for all the things that are happening in our body and to know how these different things affect us every single day in our life. Sometimes when we understand things, we're able to make a subtle shift. That's right. I said a subtle shift. I didn't say a big shift. I said a subtle shift. So subtle shifts are something that most people don't really get, but a subtle shift can have a lot of potential. Okay? A lot of potential. And if they have a lot of potential, then that's pretty amazing. Okay? When you think about the fact that our brain does some amazing things. Okay. And I say this in a way so that you can appreciate not only the beauty, but be in awe of all the amazing things that we actually can do in our body every single day. And so as we start to, let's say, become aware of different senses, of different feelings, of our surroundings, of what's being said, of what's not being said, it's like we draw this connection into an imaginary world that to us didn't even seem like it existed. So continuous flash suppression is a pretty cool way to examine how our body works. And there was something else that was a very cool experiment. It was actually this experiment that was done, and this kind of blew my mind. But Ron Hassan and his colleagues use continuous flash suppression to put information to participants' minds without them becoming consciously aware of it. And you might think it's painful, but in reality, it's actually quite simple. So it takes advantage of the fact that we have two eyes. Our brain usually attempts to fuse two resulting images into a single coherent view of the world. And CFS uses light bending glasses to show people different images in each So a Sain's key experiment involved presenting an arithmetic question unconsciously. The question would be things like 9 minus 5, and they would be followed by the presentation, fully visible of the target number that the participants were asked to read aloud as quickly as possible. The target number could either be the right answer to the arithmetic question, okay, such as 9 minus 5 is 2, but it's not, okay? It's actually 4, right? So it could be the right number or it could be the wrong number. And the result is that the participants were significantly quicker to read the target number if it was the right answer rather than a wrong one. And this shows that the equation had somehow been already solved by the subconscious mind. These are really, really powerful things, ladies and gentlemen. And I think sometimes if we start to understand that our mind and body can solve a challenge. So let me say this again. So our subconscious mind solves problems. Okay? And it's why we always want to say, take a break and come back to something. It allows us to solve problems in ways that might not seem obvious to the conscious mind, often leading to those those, oh, I got it moments, right? You've all had those before. So that comes from the subconscious basically kind of filtering down what it's deduced to the conscious mind. But not everything that's in the subconscious mind gets to the conscious mind. It just doesn't. With practice, you can work on making a lot of the subconscious conscious, but it does take work and it takes effort. That is a very important thing, ladies and gentlemen. That is a big, big part. So thinking about, this whole thing we talked about, how you do the CFS test, the continuous flash suppression. I think it's something that's really cool. And it's amazing to note the way our body responds to stimuli, both stimuli we're aware of and stimuli that we're not consciously aware of. It's subconscious. So we've talked about a lot today, and this kind of is more of that thought about, understanding, the power of the surroundings that are around you. And that might be something that you feel is one way, but then it could be a totally different way. So tonight we talked about basically to unlock the secrets of continuous flash suppression, or CFS. We talked about what it is. We went into what is the purpose of it. We went into what is the CFS method and how do we do it ourselves if we're curious about wanting to do this. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, a pleasure, and an honor to be with you this fantastic, amazing evening. I hope you'll like, love, and support the channel. Comment below, tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to catch you guys tomorrow. You know that. Go to believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations. And I'll catch you guys in another one of my videos real soon. So I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. And I hope you understand that our subconscious mind has the power to take us to places and do things that we never even dreamed were physically possible. Have yourself a great night, everyone.